Hey, what's up? What's going on? It's your girl Mary Jane. Please like and subscribe to my YouTube channel. Be greatly appreciated from the bottom of my heart, my peeps, my peoples. So anyways, let's get into it. Snowfall, season 1, episode 2. Okay, now we get to Pedro and Lucia. Lucia meets up with Gustavo, and because they want the money, because Gustavo robbed Pedro's father's house. So Pedro and Lucia set up Gustavo to rob their father's house, and so the money was in a secret location. So only person that would know where Pedro's father money is people in his inner circle, and that includes Pedro and Lucia. So Gustavo had to kill somebody when he stole the money, because this dude named Max was there, so he killed Max. So now Pedro's father, he is in a cartel. They're Mexican, and he wants to know who robbed him. So we'll get to that. And so then we have Franklin. Franklin is at the bus stop going to go see Javi, because he did make the deal. He did sell the keys, and he needs to return the money to Javi so he can get paid and make a fruitful friendship with Javi. Javi's crazy. He's eccentric. He's a funny character. And so Franklin is at the bus stop with all these other people at the bus stop. The bus stop looks like it's horrific, horrifying. And everything that you don't want to do sitting at the bus stop is, because the story takes place back in '83, I believe. That's when they had the wood benches and everything. So anyways, what is his name? So Franklin sees a dude on a motorcycle, and so he pays the dude money to buy the motorcycle. So Franklin's able to buy the motorcycle, and so boom, he's on his way to go see Javi. And so when he goes to see Javi, so once he goes to see Javi, and then also Gustavo, Pedro, and Lucia, they meet up, under a bridge or whatever to get the money from Gustavo. But Gustavo is like feeling kind of shaded, because, he felt like he was set up because there was somebody at the house, and they told him no one was going to be in the house. It was going to be a quick giveaway, a quick robbery or whatever. So when he meets up with them, he doesn't bring them the money. He brings them a family photo and is like, yo, why you had me rob your father? What kind of shit is that? Why are you robbing your own family? It's like a setup. So that's when, Gustavo's feeling like he is possibly being set up or whatever. And so he holds on to the money, and then Pedro was like, I'll kill you, mother sucker. And he points a gun at Gustavo. And so then Lucia says, you can't kill him, because then we'll never get the money. He goes, I won't kill him. I'll just put holes in him and torture him until he tells me where the money's at. So anyways, Lucia, she's able to calm down her cousin Pedro. And when she calms down her cousin Pedro, she ends up sending Pedro away, and Pedro goes to his father's house, because now his father knows he's been robbed, and he's calling a meeting, and he's trying to comfort his father. So anyways, after that, Lucia, she gets in a car with Gustavo, and Gustavo's the wrestler or whatever. And so she's able to finagle her way with Gustavo, because I think Gustavo has a crush on her. He likes her. He just likes women or whatever. So then they end up going to the gym and having a conversation. But before then, we have Teddy and what is his name? Teddy is the CIA agent. He's the police. He's the cops. Teddy meets up with Alejandro, and them two, they meet up, they talk or whatever. And so they are going to go to Javi's house. So actually Teddy and Alejandro and Logan, which is the guy that OD'd in the last episode, they're supplying everybody. They're even supplying Javi where Franklin's getting his drugs from. It's the purest coke, but the FBI is involved in this shit. So this story is this is something that really kind of happened in the 80s, where the DEA, CIA was involved in distributing drugs in the hood. The black hood, the Spanish hood, and the hood. So anyways, so they're going to meet up with Javi. Javi's not feeling Teddy. He's like, and he should go with his first instinct. So Javi is like, you know what? I want all you motherfuckers to strip. right now. And so, Teddy was like, I really don't want to strip. And so Javi's like, we're gonna strip at all of us. If it makes you feel any better, all of us, we're all gonna strip, and we can sit around like a bunch of faggots and have a conversation, so Alejandro can tell me why the hell you're here, Teddy, because I he doesn't call him Teddy, I forgot what his name is, as an undercover agent. Why Alejandro brings you here, because I was told that you never ever want to meet me or anybody. You just want to do business. You want to stay in the shadow. So then some guy comes out the house. He's having internal bleeding. He almost dying. So then, but also Javi's pointing a gun at, Teddy, and he makes Teddy bend over and show his ass. He's like, I want to see your asshole. Let me see your ass. And so Javi, he has a gold-plated gun. That gun is beautiful. It's gold. And so many ways, with this dude, with one of his security guards coming out all ill and sick and shit like that, he's just like, yo, this meeting's over. And so then Alejandro is like, yo, when can we do this deal? He was like, call me. And basically, call me means I don't fucking want to bother with you, because, Javi doesn't talk on a goddamn phone because he thinks they could be tapped. And he ain't going to motherfucking jail. So anyways, so once we get from that, they leave. And then, so after that, they leave, and then Javi's upset or whatever, but he's got to take care of the situation with, the bodyguard. So anyways, we get to Lucia. She's still talking to Gustavo, and she's with Gustavo at the gym where he works out, because he wants to be a wrestler. He wants to train people and whatever. So she's coaching him to try to get the money out of him, making him promises, saying that, one day you can own this gym, you can train people for free, you can do this, you can do that, you can be part of our team, you'll have access to all the money, the labs, everything. So then she ends up coaching the money out of Gustavo, so he gives her the money or whatever. And so after that, Franklin shows up on his motorcycle to Javi's house, and Javi's still dealing with his guy that's sick or whatever. And so he says, so Franklin was like, yo, I got your money. And so then one of the security guards bodyguards go, fuck the money. And then, Javi goes, fuck you, motherfucker, fuck your mother. And it's just like, OMG, Javi is mad funny. Javi and Franklin right now are the most good. I like Javi, Franklin, Jerome, and Lou. Right now, all of them are like, standing out more than the other cast. And so anyways, Javi goes, well, I need you to do me a favor. And the favor is to take this motherfucker to the hospital. Don't make sure no cops come back to this place. And if the cops pull you over, just say that you are the chauffeur or some bullshit like that. But I don't want no cops coming to this motherfucker. So, Franklin, he's still anxious. He's like, yo, can I get the keys? And then Javi was like, I thought you smart. You can't carry keys with this motherfucker almost about to die. And so anyways, Javi gives, Franklin the keys to his gold Rolls Royce. I guess that's how you say it. And so, and I'm like, Franklin knows how to drive a motorcycle, he knows to drive a car. And so anyways, Franklin, he jets to the hospital. He drops, the sick bodyguard off, throw him right in the middle of the street where the hospital's at, and then takes off. And then the ambulance and the workers, they run and they get, the sick guy or whatever, the sick bodyguard. So then Franklin, he shows back up to Javi's house. Everything's all good. Javi gives him mad more keys. I don't know how. I think he gives him like mad keys, at least like 6, 7 or 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 keys or whatever. And so, Franklin is feeling on top of the world right now. So he got his keys and he's about to bounce. And so, Javi says to Franklin, hey, listen, don't get killed on that motherfucking motorcycle, because that means I won't get my motherfucking money back. And so Javi's mad funny. So then Franklin, he's on his way. He's gone. And so Franklin, he goes to his uncle's house or whatever. He goes to his uncle's and his auntie's house or whatever. Then we get back to Tommy and Alejandro they meet up and they're talking. And so, Alejandro was like, you fucked up everything by showing up. And so Alejandro was like, you better get your shit together. What's wrong with you? And, Teddy was like, no, what's wrong with you? You've been lying to me. He was like, Logan wasn't in the house alone. I found a woman's blonde hair. I found the earring. I found this and that. So did you kill them women? And, Alejandro was like, hell no, I didn't kill nobody. Who the fuck you think I am? And so Teddy's like, I don't know. And so Teddy's all questioning himself. Teddy is a fucking wreck. To me, Teddy's not a great actor. So anyways, Teddy says, okay. So then Alejandro says to Teddy, listen, we got a meeting at 10 o'clock with the Mexicans. And the Mexican is Pedro, Lucia, and Gustavo. And so he was like, make sure you're there. Make sure you're ready. If not, don't fucking show up. So anyways, then boom. We get to, Franklin. He's at his uncle's and auntie's house. His auntie Lou, she's still all beat up or whatever from the last episode when they went to go see Claudia or whatever. And so, Uncle Jerome is built. He got the Jerry curl. He embodies the motherfucking 80s and gang members from the 80s, but he's not a gang member or whatever. But he's not too happy that, Franklin is moving weight and he's moving cocaine. He doesn't want nothing to do with that. He just strictly likes to deal with weed. So when, Franklin shows up, he's telling Franklin, you tested my motherfucking nerves, boy. So Franklin is trying to get his motorcycle to stay at his aunt and his uncle's house because his mom can't find out he got money. And so Jerome is like, hell no. And so Lou's like, yeah. So before you know who shows up, Sissy shows up, which is Franklin's mother. She snatches up Franklin. Uncle Jerome lies for Franklin and tell her that the motorcycle's his. It seems like Jerome and Lou got some sexual shit going on, some incest. So anyways, Franklin, he got the keys in his book bag. He hasn't put the keys away. He got the drugs in the bag. His mother takes him to work. And then once the mom takes him to work or whatever, they show up to an apartment complex where, the mom is evicting one of the tenants. And the tenant that she's evicting, she is the lady, I believe, from Gentleman's Club. The dark-skinned lady from Gentleman's Club or whatever. And so, so when he goes over there, she's talking shit to, Sassy and Franklin. She's telling Franklin, suck my titty, boy, suck my left titty, suck my right titty, whatever, to Franklin. And then, Sissy's like, shut the hell up or whatever. And so, it's fun. That whole scene is funny. The whole neighborhood is sitting outside. Is like, an eviction going on. And so then, Sissy gets mad and was like, you know what, let's go inside the house and see what's in there. So Sissy goes in the house. She gives Franklin a knife to open the vent. When they open the vent, they find a jar of raw chicken and milk together. Basically, it's in the vent. And if it sits there long enough, it becomes very toxic to, everybody. So that's like a thing that the tenant could sue for or whatever. So then as that's going on, and then he's pulling the raw chicken out the vent, and Sissy was like, see, what is this shit? And so then Sissy's boss, he shows up, some white dude, I think he's Jewish or whatever. He shows up, and so then Sissy goes outside, and Franklin goes outside to talk to her boss, and her boss is like rubbing all on her, and Franklin is looking like, ugh. So because he knows his mom is probably being taken advantage of, and then he knows that his mom is doing this to keep her a job with this dude. And so the tenant goes, why the fuck you show up to watch me get evicted, you motherfucker? And so so that's what you do. You want to come around here, you got your nigga bitch over here doing your dirty work. I mean, they go in with the comments. And so then the tenant, she takes the raw chicken and the milk, that's the rotten milk that's in a jar sealed up like a big mayonnaise glass jar, and she throws it on the Sissy's boss's car. Then the whole neighborhood starts to wild and starts to yelling at him. So Sissy rushes and get her boss out of there, and so then he takes off. And so Franklin is like, yo, this is all fucked up, this is all messed up. So Franklin is looking at the situation, like the poverty and what these people are going through, and then watching his mom have to be like the security, or basically the house nigga to evict these people and do that shit, which is a dangerous job. And his mother life is in jeopardy with working with this job, and how she has to be answering to this dude. So it makes him have the more determined mind to, you know, sell these drugs and try to get a way out the hood. Because he also believes that the system is rigged, because you remember he was on the other side of the tracks and he just saw how messed up it was on the rich side of town, and he went to private school and everything. So then anyways, so they get to the house. So then, you know, Lucia and Gustavo, they meet up with Teddy and Alejandro. They make the deal. You know, Lucia's kind of like, you know, calling shots like, yo, you're not going to change the deal since Logan's dead. He was like, nah, everything's all good. They make the exchange. So, you know, Alejandro and Teddy are the bigger suppliers of everybody. Everybody's getting their pure cocaine from them, which is the fucking CIA. And then they take the money and bring it back to their country to farm their military guys or whatever that lives in the bushes. So, anyways, after that, after that bullshit, you know, Alejandro says to Lucia, so you're going to be back in 2 weeks to get the other 25 keys. So they're selling some weight, some real weight. And Lucia, she doesn't want to sell weed anymore, so she's playing in the big lead, and she's basically calling the shots with Pedro and Gustavo. So anyway, she ends up showing Gustavo, you know, where they package the drugs, who they pay. They go through a church or whatever. All the church ladies are in the back. Some of the church ladies are in the back. They walk through the church while they're giving a sermon. And the ladies strip and they start bagging up the drugs. And she starts to tell, you know, Gustavo, we pay this person, we pay that person, we do this. We're going to make this much money. We're going to make $2.5 million at the end of this. And then, you know, blah, blah, blah. You have access. And then Pedro shows up. And he's like, yo, cut this thing down. We got a meeting at my house. And Lucia was like, nah, ladies keep working. So, you know, she's calling the shots. It almost seems like they might phase Pedro out, but Pedro's kind of crazy. But Gustavo's crazy too, but crazy on a silent tip. So anyways, they leave there. And so, you know, after that, you know, Teddy, he wants to go back to Javi's house to make this deal with Javi. So he goes to Javi's house. He tells Javi, hey, listen, I don't want to do business with you no more because you're crazy, you're eccentric, you're a loco, you're all this. And then Javi, that kind of intrigued Javi, and Javi falls for it with this fucking FBI guy or DIA agent guy, and they end up making deals. But when they get to Javi's house, Javi's playing bowling. He has a bowling ball, and he's, for the pins and bowling, he's using all champagne bottles, brand new champagne bottles that hasn't been open at all. So it's just like, oh boy, he's bowling. And so anyways, they end up mending their relationship, Javi and Teddy. And now they're going to be doing business together. And so it gets crazy. And so I don't know why he fell for fucking Teddy. Teddy's a fucking piece of shit. So anyways, we get back to Pedro and Lucia. They go to their house because now the father of Pedro is calling a meeting. So all the family members are there, even Lucia's father, they're there. And then Max's brother, they beat him to death and they throw him off the balcony and to the foyer floor and says, hey, whoever was involved in robbing me was close to me, somebody that knew exactly where my stash was, where my money was, and you guys better find him, because if you don't find him, I'm going to start investigating each and every one in here. And he means he's going to kill each and everybody in that room, because he's not down with anybody in his inner circle stealing money from him, because he knows it was somebody that was close to him. Because remember, the pictures are gone and the money's gone. And the money was in a secret location where nobody knew but his closest allies, the people that was in the room, the dead guy, and the guy in the room that's almost dead, and the rest of the family members. So anyways, then after that, you know, what's his name? Pedro and Lucia, they meet up outside the house. Lucia, she's smoking weed. She's still calm or whatever. And then Pedro goes, yo, my father's going to kill everybody until he finds out who did this. We can't sit around waiting for my father to kill us or whatever. So, you know, Pedro's down to kill his father too. He'll kill his father in a heartbeat. He don't give a shit. And I think Lucia's down for it. Then they can take over the empire. Is that possible? Or is the father going to get to Pedro and kill his ass? And Lucia seems innocent because she's a girl. So that's her cover, being a girl. So anyways, Franklin got all his keys. He got ever how many keys he got. He goes, he meets up with Claudia at the club that she owns, her extravagant little hood, A1 slash classy club, whatever. He meets up with her. They have a conversation. They're mending their relationship. They're bonding together. They're having a conversation. She has respect for him. He has respect for her. He got that silver tongue where he can talk, he can talk really good. Let's see if this thing is working. Kill these motherfuckers. So anyways, so then after that happens, they're having a conversation. So, Franklin is like, yo, how come, you did that to my aunt? You should say sorry or whatever. You don't be too proud or whatever. And then she goes, well, you showing your age. She was like, no, he was like, yo, I'm just making sure that, that you have respect for me. I have respect for you. And you're not too proud to apologize. And then Claudia, she gets up because she see 3 gentlemen waiting on her. And one of the 3 gentlemen that's waiting on her is one of the guys from, G's to Gents, the show that was on MTV. The guy that punched the dude in the face when they was doing the interviews or whatever, he's on the show. So anyways, she meets up with them guys. The guys leave, but these guys notice that Franklin is sitting right in the VIP area with Claudia, and there's drugs and there's money on the table. So it's done in the open. Before, when they first made that deal, it was done in her private office, but now it's like casual. And so now, they make the deal. Claudia tried to burn him, only give him 30 G's. And he was like, nah. And she was like, yo, I give you pussy. I give you this. I give you that. You'll feel real good. He was like, nah, I'm about my money. She was like, oh, I see you about your money. Yes, he's about his money. He's trying to help his mom out and get out the hood. He's trying to stay alive. So anyways, he gets all the money that he's supposed to get. So now he can bring the money back to Javi and continue to bring up himself. So anyways, he's about to leave, get on his motorcycle, and one of the 3 dudes that was upstairs talking to Claudia says to him, hey, listen, hey, who you with? And so Franklin goes, I'm not with nobody. And so Franklin goes, what you say? And so then the dude goes, motherfucking nigga, I ain't playing no game with you. I ain't playing no jokes, motherfucker. Who the fuck you with, nigga? I ain't saying this shit again. And so then after that, so Franklin goes, I ain't with nobody. And so then as Franklin talking to these dudes, a dude come from the side and punch him right in the face. He gets knocked off the bike. Then once he's knocked off the bike, they just started beating his ass, beating the shit out of him. And then they end up taking a bag of money or whatever, and they're punching him. He's bleeding. And so then, the tall dude was like, yo, let's kill this motherfucker. So he's pointing the gun. And so the dude from G's to Gent says, nah, don't waste no bullets on this bitch ass nigga. We already got the money. We got the bag. Then he goes, this ain't Mayberry, nigga, and drives off with his moped or whatever. So now Franklin doesn't have the drugs. He doesn't have the money. How the fuck is he going to get this money back to Javi? And Franklin did see these guys that robbed him. I believe that his uncle or his auntie might know these guys and help him get the money back. Or Franklin can go talk to, Claudia to get the location, see if Claudia will help him. But Claudia already got her money, you know what I mean? She already got her drugs. But if she wants to get more supply and she wants that good coke, she would help, Franklin get his money back, because she knows who the dudes that robbed him, because the dudes robbed him because he came over and he took her away, because these 3 dudes used to sell the cocaine to Claudia, but since she got a better deal and more pure cocaine, she left them alone or whatever. So, but I don't know if Claudia set this up too as well, because they all know he's traveling alone. But Claudia knows that he's buying drugs from a big time dude. But it looks like she's clean in this. So I don't know if Jerome is going to help, Franklin, because he's really pissed with Franklin, selling cocaine. But Jerome might come to his aid of his nephew, because these dudes that robbed him are from the neighborhood. And Lou might know these dudes. But he might go to Javi, and Javi might start war and find out who robbed him, or not mess with Franklin at all. And is Pedro going to kill his father? Or if his father going to find out that it's Pedro and Lucia that robbed them, because he's going to end up finding out that they're moving that much weight, because they're going to make $2.1 million. So we'll see. And then also Franklin's girlfriend not his girlfriend, but the puppy love crush he has with this girl that lives next door to him, she finds out that he is moving weight because she opened up his book bag. Franklin's mother almost caught him with the drugs, but he ended up slighting his mother by talking about, oh, I seen daddy. And she was like, oh, how did daddy look? He was like, I can't tell. So we'll see what happens. And is Teddy gonna get it together? You know what I mean? I think Teddy's gonna go rogue and become a drug addict or something, because Teddy does have a bad past. So anyways, we'll see what happens next week. Peace. I'm out.